Malaysia is known for its scenic landscapes that include serene beaches, luscious jungles, and great mountains. Johor is a state in southern Malaysia that connects to Singapore to the south by causeways. Today, Johor's landscape is modernizing with skyscrapers everywhere. One particular cluster was constructed as a new residential place and is called Forest City. A sprawling metropolis in the middle of the jungle and mountainous landscape sticks out like a sore thumb. But this $100 billion project that was supposed to be a game changer for the region is eerily empty. So, how did China manage to build a city the size of Singapore in Malaysia? And what does it say about the country's economic ambitions? Yes, this is yet another story showcasing China's aggressive urbanization efforts in Southeast Asia. To fully understand how this grand project to create a metropolis in Malaysia utterly flopped, it's important to contextualize it within the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI. The BRI is a global development strategy and infrastructure development project proposed by the Chinese government in 2013. The initiative aims to promote economic cooperation and connectivity between China and other regions of the world, particularly in Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas. The BRI is designed to revive the ancient Silk Road trade routes, which connected China with Europe and other parts of Asia by building new infrastructure, such as roads, railways, ports, and energy pipelines. The initiative also aims to promote trade, investment, and cultural exchange between China and other countries. Critics have warned about China's debt trap and careless attitude toward biodiversity and environmental protection. Others have lauded the project as fantastic opportunities for economic developments in nations that are struggling and a step toward re-equalizing global inequalities for so-called developing countries, aka third world nations. Unfortunately for the Chinese government, Forest City in Johor is yet another example of a ghost city and failed BRI project. In a BBC article from December 2023, a reporter visited the city with a previous resident who had moved away from the eerie, desolate city. The reporter described Forest City as an abandoned holiday resort. The reporter continued, saying, "On the deserted beach, there's a shabby children's playground, a rusting vintage car, and perhaps aptly, a white concrete staircase to nowhere. By the water, there are signs warning against swimming because of crocodiles. In the purpose-built shopping mall, many of the shops and restaurants are closed. Some units were just vacant construction sites. In a surreal touch, there is an empty children's train doing endless laps around the mall while playing heads, shoulders, knees, and toes on loop in Chinese." Next door, in Country Garden's showroom, there is an enormous model city showing what a completed Forest City would look like. Sitting at the sales stall are a couple of bored-looking employees. The sign above them, Forest City, where happiness never ends. According to their official website, Forest City is advertised as such. Spanning 30 kilometers squared, the newly built Forest City will be a smart and green futuristic city that combines environment, technology, and cutting-edge tech to create an idyllic, and technology-driven living and working space ecosystem. This is a unique opportunity to be part of this dynamism. The sustainable smart city was planned and built to house about 700,000 residents. It is the amalgamation of 4 man-made islands, which has the added benefit that contractors Country Garden from China had more liberty in urban planning and design. Moreover, it is advertised as a fantastic local and international economic attraction. It would enable local businesses to expand and attract foreign investments, while also being a new tourist attraction. In the design of the building and infrastructure, the integration of technology with local culture and wilderness is meant to be another potential selling point for this avant-garde city. Finally, prices for living spaces range from $75,000 to $3.5 million US. Despite all the advertisements before, during, and after construction, Forest City is simply not living up to the idyllic smart city it was set out to be. Many reports state that it feels eerie, and, for instance, most apartment buildings are filled to only 10 to 15% occupancy. There are multiple commercial centers, manicured gardens, art installations, and local cuisines on offer, but it appears that most of the South Asian population, the target audience, is staying away. Unfortunately for investors, and particularly for the Chinese government, foreign capital is not pouring in as expected either. It is not as simple as no investors or residents have shown interest or the prices are too high. It is a combination of factors, which are a commonality across Belt and Road Initiative projects, that have caused this idyllic cityscape to flop. First, there are the strict limitations placed on developers by the Chinese government in 2021. For years, there was uncontrolled borrowing by developers, and the Chinese government had to act quickly before an economic bubble formed. From all accounts, it appears that a bubble is indeed what occurred with Malaysia's Forest City, despite the Chinese government's efforts to prevent the consequences. According to Investopedia, an economic bubble occurs any time that the price of a good rises far above the item's real value. Bubbles are typically attributed to a change in investor behavior, although what causes this change in behavior is debated. Second, local politics have made it difficult for Chinese citizens to settle in Malaysia. Mahathir Mohamad, the interim prime minister of Malaysia from 2018 to 2020, approved legislation to push out Chinese residents because he wanted to avoid turning Forest City into a mini Chinese city. These limitations placed on Chinese citizens applying for visas to live in Malaysia back in 2018 have had consequences well into the present. As such, it is simply too difficult for much of the target population to live in Johor. Third came the uncertainties and challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Travel and residence restrictions imposed globally from 2020 onward generally dampened the plans of even the most seasoned globetrotters. With those wanderlust travelers having cause to think twice, and the travel industry still trying to get back on its feet after the pandemic's devastating blow since 2020, Forest City was not on many people's itinerary. As the world went into lockdown, the thrill of exploring new horizons and starting fresh in a foreign land was replaced with a sense of dread and uncertainty. So, young families or business people looking for new and better opportunities, part of the target population for Forest City, were just as unlikely as travelers to visit and take up residence. As a result, Forest City failed to attract the attention and interest of potential residents and travelers during this time, as the global travel landscape was marked by restrictions, uncertainty, and caution. Malaysia, a country of breathtaking beauty, is a treasure trove of diverse landscapes and topography, from the lush rainforest to the vibrant jungles, teeming with exotic fauna and flora. It's a nature lover's paradise. But amidst this picturesque backdrop, Forest City, a massive development project launched as part of the Belt and Road Initiative, has turned out to be a costly misadventure. The Chinese government tried and failed to offer a modern smart city perfectly harmonized in its natural surroundings. Foreigners with deep pockets have also given Forest City a wide berth. Many have tried it out, only to leave in disappointment, while others have never set foot. The result is a ghost town with empty streets, untouched tourist attractions, and an eerie silence. The failure of Forest City is a stark reminder of the importance of understanding local needs and preferences when developing large-scale projects. As Malaysia looks to the future, it's essential that it learns from this mistake and prioritizes projects that truly benefit its citizens rather than catering to the whims of foreign investors. What do you think? Would you want to try living in Forest City? Let us know in the comments. Did you enjoy the video? Check out more at the Urban Jungle channel.